Creativity is the new job security. You're welcome to this live session. Today, we're talking about why creativity is the new today's modern day job security. Walt Disney once worked as a newspaper cartoonist. Yes, the Walt Disney that you know. He was once a staff working in an organization and he was into newspaper cartooning. His editor told him one day, "You lack imagination." And guess what? They said he had no ideas and he got fired. But guess what again? His creativity became his greatest job security because this same man that lost a job that he thought was secure and people told him he wasn't creative enough, so they fired him, built what you now know as Disney World. So, this is where we're beginning this conversation today to tell you that actually your creativity is your job security. You're welcome to this live session today. And I am Leslie Grace, the confidence coach. I help busy professionals like you unlock confidence smartness through smart reading, smart thinking, and of course, smart speaking. You are welcome. Are you ready for today's conversation? Let me know in the comment section. Ready? Share this live with someone that should be here. Tell a professional to tell a professional. Tell somebody that we are here. Okay, now it begins with the story of Walt Disney that I've already shared with you today of how that changed from the guy who had no imagination, who had no ideas, who was categorized as someone who wasn't creative enough by his former employer. Disney World was created, an empire that today employs thousands and entertains millions across the globe. His job couldn't give him security. But guess what has given him the most important and durable security of his time? It is nothing but his creativity, true lasting security. Yes, you're welcome. I can see in the comment section. Welcome. So good to see everybody here today. Now, let me ask you this question. Does this sound like you? Or do you know someone who this sounds like? Are you that person who you've worried about layoffs? You're constantly worried about industry shifts, or you're even worried about AI taking over. You're seeing what AI is doing every day, or you're that person who thought that stability comes from a job, from a paycheck. Are you that person? You see innovators creating opportunities, but you don't know where to start. Are you that person? Let me know in the comment section. And as you comment, you're welcome. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It's so good to have you here. Today, we're going to be looking at why industries collapse, how creative thinkers rebuild them. I'll be sharing stories with you, like the story of NITEL, how Nigeria's telecom giant failed to innovate, how to position your creativity in a way that career security can be guaranteed. And I'll be giving you 5 clear steps to building job security through creativity. Of course, I'll show you practical exercises to turn creativity into continuity. It's going to be an amazing conversation today. Have you hit the like button? Have you hit the subscribe button? Have you shared this live with someone that should be here? This is that conversation you should share with that colleague of yours, that friend of yours, that sibling of yours that has been craving to create something in this world before. Are you ready? Let me know in the comment section. Ready? Let me see you. Ready. Let's begin with why industries collapse and how creative thinkers rebuild them. This is what is going on all over the world. Industries are beginning to collapse everywhere. Industries collapse when they stop inventing. NITEL, for instance, it was once a telecom giant in this part of the world at some point, but there was no innovation, there was no creativity. Guess what? That industry collapsed. Today, it is all gone. It has been displaced by modern, more innovative companies like MTN and the rest of it. Okay, Blockbuster also was another giant that is displaced today. Kodak is displaced today. But guess what? Creative thinkers survive. They do not just survive, they survive. The basic reason they survive is because they see beyond the current rules. So the conversation today is how to make you that person that will see beyond your current reality, your current rule, and realize that your actual job security is not in the job that you have now, no matter how seemingly secure it may appear, but in your creativity, because your creativity is with you forever. Have you hit the like button? Have you hit the subscribe button? Let me say this. Industries collapse, but creative thinkers rebuild them. industries collapse. Industries can be reinvented, they can be renovated, but it begins with your ability to create. Now, let me ask you a question. If your industry collapsed tomorrow, would your creativity still feed you? Let me know in the comment section. Think about it for a moment. If that job that appears to be a security for you, I hope you know that when NITEL froze, like I growing up, I used to know a NITEL office close to where we lived at the time with my parents. And watching that industry collapse, people lost their jobs. A lot of damage was done. So the question I want to ask you is, do you think that you can still feed with your creativity should your industry collapse tomorrow or today? Do you think so? Do you think so? Because the truth is, jobs are like buildings. Creativity is like the foundation. And I hope you know that the reason they even have you on that job is because they find you creative. Like I began with Walt Disney's story. Walt Disney was creative. I mean, that's why he was into cartoon designing for the company where he was working with. But at some point, they said, this guy lacks good ideas. This guy lacks innovation. And so they fired him. So the question I want to, hey, Bumi, so good to see you. Hello. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It's good to see you here today. So my question is, should you lose? Oh, we have Terrence from Zambia. Oh, nice to see you, Terrence. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I love it that you joined in today. You will love this conversation today because we're talking about your actual job security is your creativity, not just a job that you have now. You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody. So good to see you all. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Tell somebody to join this live today. So I was saying your job is like a beauty, but the foundation is your creativity. A strong foundation supports new structures. So whatever happens, you can still move. A strong foundation supports new structures. So whatever comes your way, let's begin with the NITEL story. Let me tell you a bit of the NITEL story. So NITEL was Nigeria's telecom giant at the time. But guess what? While they rested, while they thought that, okay, there's a building, and forgetting that the actual foundation for any building is your creativity, MTN came into the show. Glow came on in the way. And they innovated, rewrote the rules. Today, NITEL is a cautionary tale. Telecom companies now use them as caution to advise others, to tell others that, oh no, you have to be careful the way you handle your telecom industries, and they are gone. While they rested, MTN and Glow took over. All right? So the future belongs to the creative. Write that for me in the comment section. The future belongs to the creative. The future belongs to the creative. I'm looking at this because I want to show you that it's not just about the fact that, okay, I'm able to create. It's about seeing your creativity in a different light, owning it because it's your actual job security. It's not about what you created now. It's about how you can channel your mind to create always forever. To create always forever because it is what will keep you. That you have created something. It feels like at some point, NITEL felt like I've created something, we've done something, we're good to go, without understanding that the rules have to be reinvented constantly in order to stay relevant. So creativity is your life, like it's your foundation. Every other thing you have is a beauty. So put that for me in the comment section. My creativity is my future. That is what actually ascertains what you can get tomorrow. Let me say this real quickly. Resting on past glory is the fastest way to irrelevance. Please write that in the comment section. You know about NITEL we're talking about today? We mentioned Kodak as well. This was their biggest problem. Resting on past glory is the fastest way to irrelevance. And what makes people rest on past glory? They quickly forget the foundation of the buildings they have. The foundation of any building. And when I'm referring to your building, I'm referring to anything you built in this life. Even though you offer a book today or you begin to build a business today, understand that the foundation is your creativity. The day you begin to forget it, you get carried away with what you have bought to the world already, what you have brought through that system, and you forget that relevance can be lost if you are sticking to past glory. What I want you to do is simple. At this point, before we continue, I want you to write down one area in your work or your industry where you've been resting? Where's that area in your work or industry where you've been resting? And ask yourself, how can creativity rebuild this space? And even if you are like Walt Disney right now, or you know someone who's like Walt Disney right now, who just felt, okay, I'm designing cartoons for this company. I'm doing well. I have job security. I hope that you understand that is part of resting as well. That is part of resting. Because place this story side by side. This is one person who the world literally reveres and says, how did you come up with Disneyland? How did you come up with this Disney World? This is an amazing, amazing creation. When you go to France, people don't want to leave the country until they actually get to see Disneyland or they see Disney World. But this was the brain behind this whole concept was told on a job that he lacks ideas. Are you that person that someone has told to you that you lack ideas? Or maybe you have told yourself that, this thing they're talking about, come and write a book, come and put your experience, your expertise, your expressions into a course is not for me. Because I know I'm not creative. Take an inspiration from Walt Disney. And you will realize what I've been saying, that a creator God could not have created a consumer you. He can only create who he is, because we can only replicate ourselves, right? So if he's a creator, he has replicated himself in you. So tell yourself, I've got ideas. I am creative. Let me see that in the comment section. I am creative. I've got ideas. I am creative. I've got ideas. Because now I want to show you how to position your creativity as the true career security that you have. So put that for me in the comment section. I am creative. I have ideas. I am creative. I've got ideas. Thank you. Thank you. Have you hit the subscribe button? Have you hit the like button? Let us continue the conversation today. Now, let me show you how to position your creativity as true career security. How do you position your creativity as your true career security? You need to understand that creativity is not a hobby. Creativity is not a hobby. It is a portable economic engine. PEE, that's what I call it. Your creativity is not a hobby. So that's the first step. If you want to see your creativity, position it as your true career security. Stop seeing it as a hobby. I just love to write. It's just a hobby. I use it to cool off. It is not a hobby. I just love to talk, and people love the way I speak. They love to hear my voice. It is not a hobby. It's good enough that you love it, but it is your portable economic engine. Better still, call it your personal economic engine. It's personal to you because you can actually move it from place to place. PEE. My creativity is my personal economic engine. It's not just a hobby. So you see, for instance, let's say someone who is as good with cartoon drawings like Walt Disney, but just fall into the trap of thinking, I just find myself doing this when I don't have anything to do. So I just see myself painting and drawing, and I think that it's just a hobby for me. It's not a hobby for you. It's not a hobby for you. It is actually your personal. It is actually your personal economic engine. That is the number one way to position your creativity as your actual security. For example, Disney turned doodles into Disney World. He didn't see it as a hobby. He saw it as something that can be used to create something. Disney turned doodles into Disney World. Nollywood turned storytelling into a whole 6.4 billion industry. Dear storytellers, I just love the way I write stories on Facebook. They even hail me that they love the way I write. Nollywood has turned that thing you are calling a hobby into a 6.4 billion industry. Dollars, by the way. So your creativity is not a hobby. Please write it for me in the comment section. My creativity is not a hobby. My creativity is not a hobby. Afrobeat turned sound into global currency. There are many musicians today who are milking the music industry, billions and billions by Afrobeats. A time came when they turned Afrobeat into a sound that can bring out, that can yield global currency. Again, own it and say it to yourself. My creativity is not a hobby. And let me say this to you, dear creative. Creativity is not fun alone. Creativity funds the future. Put that for me in the comment section. Put that where you can see it. Creativity is not fun alone. Creativity funds the future. Creativity funds the future. So your creativity is capable of funding your future, including that your dream idea, that your dream land, that future that you think you have. Keep dreaming. But understand that your creativity is not for fun alone. Your creativity is capable of funding the future that you desire. But there are some mindset shifts that you need in order to use this the right way, to channel this the right way, to make this the right way. What are those mindset shifts that you need? Number one, you need to move from waiting for jobs to creating your own lane. Number one, write it down. Move, shift from looking for jobs to creating your own lane. You know, it's my mentor coach when you look at that keeps saying, instead of saying, I'm looking for tables to get into, why not create your own table and put people on that table? So, as opposed to waiting for jobs, you can actually create your own lane. It first begins with a mindset shift. It first begins with a mindset shift. Your mindset matters. Build, innovate, multiply wherever you are. It is your task, it is your job to build, to innovate, to multiply right where you are. Because creativity is capable of turning scarcity into opportunity. Creativity is capable of turning scarcity into opportunity. The question is, where are you now with your creativity? Where are you now with your creativity? Are you seeing it as something that is just another hobby? That's why I said do not see it as a hobby. No, you can't see it as a hobby. It's just another time. I'm just wearing away time. I just love to tell stories. I just love to tell stories. No, 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 no. Your creativity is capable of turning scarcity into multiplication. It begins with a mindset. It begins with a mindset. The kind of mindset that says, I'm not going to wait for jobs, I'm going to create mine. Hi, Willie, ATS. So good to see you here. Let everybody know that we are live share this live with someone that should be here. All right. While we're looking at the mindset shifts that you should make. Okay. All righty. So making this mindset shift can actually turn everything around for you. It is a kind of mindset shift that Nollywood had, and they said, you know what? These are storytelling. We can multiply it. And today, Nollywood industry is worth billions of dollars. So security is built by action, not expectation. So it starts with that mindset shift. Now that you've done the mindset shift, I'm not going to give you 5 steps to build job security through creativity. Are you ready? Let me know in the comment section. Ready, ready, ready. Are you ready? 5 steps to building security through creativity. You know, I said that your actual job security is your creativity. Let me give you 5 steps you can now do that. Let me see you. Ready in the comment section. Yes, number 1. Understand why industries collapse. I know this is coming as shocking to you. Coach, are you serious? I want to turn my creativity into job security. Says you can't understand why industries collapse. Yes, you need to. Understand why industries collapse. So you need to go and study the story of NITEL versus MTN and Blue. Why did it collapse? Oh, by the way, let me just quickly say one book I would love to recommend if you want to do this. You know, I'm a book binger. I love to read. It's $10 Making It Big. Because there he mentioned about one of his companies that collapsed, what happened with it, and a lot of lessons we can take. But your first step, your first call is to understand why industries collapse. Before you even go ahead to create one, you need to understand why industries collapse. Understand why Kodak fell off. Why did Kodak fall off? Versus digital cameras. What happened right there? What happened to Blockbuster? How did it collapse so much that Netflix just took over? It is your job to understand why industries collapse. If you do, you'll be safe. It will be part of your compass towards moving your creativity to the path of job security in your creativity. I want to ask you this question again. If your industry collapsed tomorrow, would your creativity still feed you? Because industries collapse, but creative thinkers, they are always there. They are always there. Industries collapse, but creative thinkers are always, always, always there. So the first steps to building job security through your creativity is to, number one, understand why industries collapse. Number two, shift your definition of security. It's time to shift. Let's talk about it. What exactly is your definition of security? And this is going to be a whole conversation right now. Show you practicality. How some people already, their definition of security is faulty and it's time to change it. How do I make this shift? How do I shift from my wrong definition of security? Number one, shift from thinking that paycheck is security. So see paycheck as a fence. Say this in the comment section. Paycheck is a fence. Paycheck is a fence. Paycheck equals fence. This is the kind of mindset that makes you see that, oh, security is not actually a paycheck. A paycheck is a fence. You know what a fence is? A barricade. You know what a fence is? An obstacle. Yes, a limitation. See it that way. That is where you should begin. By seeing paycheck as a fence. That's what it is. And now, in a bit to still understand and redefine security, you have to now start seeing creativity as your freedom. So creativity equals freedom. Creativity equals freedom. Just in case you're still wondering, this creativity they're talking about this. See, let me say, in the next decade, the top 3 skills, among the top 3 skills for relevance and wealth in the next decade is creativity. So your actual freedom is, of course, if you are below 100 years or 90 years, 80 years, 70 years, and we're watching this, it means that you may have an extra 10 years. And it is said that the next decade, the top 3 skills among it is creativity for thriving in the next decade. See, salary is renting a house. Creativity is owning a land. That's the difference. I'm explaining it to you this way so you can make that shift in your definition of security. You should make that shift in your definition of security. Your job pays you today, but your creativity secures you for tomorrow. Like I said, what your job gives you is a paycheck, and paycheck is a fence. So the second step towards using your creativity for your actual career security is to shift your definition of security. And I just helped you do that now. If you're just joining in, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Thank you for joining in today. All right, number 3, the third step. The third step towards turning your creativity into your actual job security is position your creativity as a tool, not a hobby. Please put that for me in the comment section. My creativity is a tool, not a hobby. The third step. If you want to turn your creativity into an actual job security, then position it as a tool, not a hobby. As a tool, not a hobby. Earlier on, I said that your creativity is your personal economic power. So if you want to turn it into real time job security, which it actually is, you need to now start positioning it as a tool, not a hobby. You need to position it as a tool, not a hobby. That's not what it is. Creativity equals economic engine. Your creativity is not a nice to have. I remember meeting someone recently and she said to me, I just love to write. I write as a hobby. And I said, please, this your writing is the same writing that took Chimamanda Adichie to where she is. Is this your writing? Oh, I just love to paint. In my spare time, I just love to use colors and play with colors. So I love to go for paint and sieves. It's a relaxation tool for me. I use it to relax. Hello, Walt Disney used that your painting that you're calling a hobby as a tool for building Disney World. Oh, I just love to be dramatic. My friends call me dramatic. I don't even know when I just pull up this drama. Nollywood has used storytelling to make billions of dollars. Again, your creativity is a tool, it's not a hobby. You're just joining us. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. This is a conversation you would love. Disney, Nollywood, Afrobeats, these are examples of people who use their creativity as tools, not hobby. This is my task for you today. Write out one gift that you have, and how can this gift solve a problem? In a bit, channeling it as a tool and not a hobby. In a bit to positioning it as a tool and not a hobby, write down that gift. What gift do you have? What is one gift that you have? Put in the comment section if you do not mind. What is one gift that you have? And how can you use it to solve a problem instead of viewing it as a hobby? Because that's not what it is. It's a tool. It's a tool for wealth creation. It's a tool for personal economic shift. It's not a hobby. Creativity funds the future. So what is that gift that you have? How can you use it to solve problems? This is the third step you can take if you want to turn your creativity into job security. Right? Number 3. I'm giving you 5 steps, right? I said that these are the 5 steps you can take to build job security through your creativity. Number 1, I said, understand why industries collapse. Number 2, shift your definition of security. Number 3, position your security as a tool, not a hobby. And then number 4, build a creative network, not just a CV. This is one mistake professionals make. The thing that is about building CV, so it's about credentials, it's about papers, it's about certificates. These are all good. But if you are seeking for real job security, which is not your current job, by the way, it's your creativity that is your actual job security, then you need to start building creative networks, not just your CV. Where better to build a creative network than to be in the Smart Creating Lab? In the Smart Creating Lab, you will meet other professionals like you who are on their journey to creating with their expertise, experience, and expressions. You're going to be able to build a firm network of fellow creatives. It is one smart step to take in order to leave the place where you think that your job is your actual security. Isn't it? Your creativity is. So step number 4 is to build a creative network. NITEL failed alone. I talked about NITEL, right? It was a telecom giant in Nigeria years back. But NTN partnered globally. One of the greatest secrets of NTN is partnership. They've done a lot of creative network partnership. They literally live in it. NTN kept on partnering, creative partnering with a creative network. NITEL failed alone. Let me see this. Networks multiply impact. Put that for me in the comment section. Network multiplies impact. But you know what? Silos shrink opportunity. Silos shrink opportunity. But the networks you build multiply impact. The networks you build multiply impact. Say this to yourself. My CV opens the door. My creativity keeps me in the room. My CV opens the door. My creativity keeps me in the room. So, in your step, in your bid to turn your creativity into real-time job security, begin to look at building creative networks. And the beauty of creativity is that creativity is magnetic. It attracts people who can't ignore you. It attracts people who are creative like you. And of course, iron sharpeneth iron. The sad reality is that a companion of fools shall be destroyed. I'm giving you the steps you can take to move away from the place where you think that your job is your security, to the place of seeing your creativity, that which is inside of you, which your creator has loaded you with, as your actual job security. And the fourth step is you building a creative network. Number 5, design for continuity, not just cash. It was on yesterday's live, we talked about the 4 incomes you can make from your creativity. Yes, we go live Mondays to Fridays at 1 p.m. Let me remind you, Saturdays at 7 p.m. for the Smart Short Break series. And the Smart Short Break series is where busy professionals like you come to unlock confidence smartness through smart reading, smart thinking, and smart speaking. So this season of September and October, we're just having the Smart Creative Short Break series, which is a part of the Smart Short Break series. All right. So you're welcome here again. And yesterday we talked about the 4 kinds of income. And one of the kinds of income is cash. Another kind of income is continuity. But we established yesterday that cash is like the least form. If you're just joining us, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It's good to see that you are here today. You would love it being here. And so, cash is the least form. One of the greatest forms of income you can make through your creativity is continuity. So, the 5th step for using your creativities as a tool for lasting security, job security, is to build for continuity, not just cash. Now, when we're saying build for continuity, we're saying build books, we're saying build courses, we're saying build businesses. I do not know how to write my first book, yet I have scribbles here and there. You should be in the Smart Creating Lab. We would give you, we'll hold you by the hand and move that your book, the scribbles you have made of that book, in your donor into an actual book that you're holding in your hand. And no, we do not call it a course or a masterclass. It's a lab. It's actually going to be hands-on. You will leave there with your products in your hand. Because we do not believe in building for cash. Build for continuity. Cash is good, but continuity is the plan. Okay? So when you are building books, when you're building courses, when you're building templates, checklists, bundles, you are building for continuity. The question I want to ask you today, and I need you to respond, is what can you create this year that keeps paying you in 5 years? What do you think you can create this year from your expertise? I mean, when I'm saying what can you create, I'm not saying go and look for it somewhere else. If you have any of these 3, you're qualified to create. Expertise, experience, expression, you're qualified. Any of them. You have expertise in cooking, you're qualified to create. You have 10 years experience in the banking industry, you're qualified to create. In any industry, you're qualified to create. So, what can you create from any of these 3 that you have, that from which it can still keep paying you in the next 5 years? Write that in your journal. Because truth be told, true job security is when your creativity works even when you don't. When you cannot work any longer, when you don't work any longer, it can still pay you. That is true job security. So here is your task. Identify one skill you've been treating as a hobby. What is that skill? Is it writing? Is it singing? I hope you know that Nathaniel Bassey has used the same singing that you just do in your kitchen as a hobby to build a whole lot, to build continuity, not just cash. So he's built Hallelujah Challenge. He's built a whole lot of things that will outlive him, that will keep giving back. He's built a whole lot that if you just go to his YouTube channel, he is blessing you with his music, even though he's not there directly to do it. That is building continuity, not just cash. You're just joining us. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Thank you for joining it today. So I need you to identify one skill you've been treating as a hobby. Write how that skill can solve a problem. Even if it's just one person you know this skill can solve a problem for, write it down. I need you to put it down. Task number 2, share your creativity publicly. We cannot light a candle and put it under the bushel. Right? The book that I read, the Bible says. So write it and put it publicly. Even if it's just a scribble, write something about it and put it publicly. When the book Atomic Habits was meant to be written, James Clear made sure that he tweeted about it, I think about a year or more. He was actually building. This is how things are built for continuity. So write about it. Do a 2-minute video about it. But share your creativity publicly today. A short video, a post, a vlog, just something simple. But let it get public. Number 3, draft one long-term product idea. Write these notes down, keep them somewhere because you are coming into the Smart Creative Lab with it. Now, put this for me in the comment section. Jobs collapse. Jobs collapse. Creativity creates. If you're just joining us, hit the subscribe button. Like button. It's good to find you here. Let me have that in the comment section. Jobs collapse. Creativity creates. Creativity creates even when jobs are collapsing. Creativity keeps creating. So we cannot say that we don't want to create. Jobs will collapse, but your creativity will keep creating. Your creativity will keep creating, even when jobs are collapsing. So what you want to hold to yourself is, of course, your creativity. It is your lifeline. Hold it that way. Put it that way. Bring that your creativity to the Smart Creating Lab. Let's help you break it down. Let's help you put into something you can hold in your hand. It's a real-time product that has been your desire all the while. You know why? Because paychecks expire. Creativity is security. Write that down. Paychecks expire. I've seen too many professionals say things like, I know that I can write this as a template and it will help the accounting industry, the finance industry, but you know what? I don't think I have that time. You know, this job I have, and when you say things that can't you just make out attention, you don't get it. Do you know what my paycheck says? Dear professional, it is too risky to play down on your creativity over a paycheck because paychecks expire, but your creativity endures. I want to say that it endures forever. And I can say that really. I can say that really. Your creativity endures forever. There are books that the authors are long gone. The messages, the books by Dr. Mansmuro, for instance. These books are there forever. It's been long gone. Generations to come, our children's children may also get to read these books or listen to these messages. And that's how it is. Creativity lives forever. But paychecks will expire. So stop making excuses for your dilly-dallying with creating, for lack of a better way to put it, with the excuse of because I'm keeping a job and the reason I'm doing this is because I have a paycheck to protect. Paychecks expire. Creativity lasts forever. Creative systems endure. They endure. The books you're going to write with that your expertise will endure. It will still be there. So whilst your paycheck is bound to expire, one day will come, it will expire. Those systems you'll be able to create with your creativity will definitely endure for a long time. So you don't want to play down on it. Salary is survival. Creativity is security. Please put that down for me in the comments. Salary is survival. Creativity is your actual security. Salary is survival. Your actual creativity is your security. Your job may change, your title. Of course, you have this position, you're holding this position, it has changed your title, there's a name they now call you. Congratulations. This may be icky in some kind of way, but the truth has to be said. Your job may change your title. However, your creativity will change your future. Hmm. Again, say this to yourself. My creativity is my actual job security. My creativity is my actual job security. Let me say this in closing. Go and register for the Smart Creating. Go and register for the Smart Creating Lab. Especially because if you miss it this year, you have to wait till October next year. And I know that you're already feeling sad as the year is coming to an end that, oh, this book I said I was going to write, I've not written it. This course I said I was going to create, I've not created it. So come and join in here so you don't cry. And I'm sure that you cannot wait till next year. So jump into the Smart Creating. And you cannot say you want to come later for it's a course that I'm not the only one handling, right? There are other coaches that are going to be coming in. Having us all to be in one room to have another class, it's only going to be possible in the next year, a year after that. And I know you don't want that. So jump into the Smart Creating Lab. This is how you can actually turn your creativity into money. See, knowledge is the new gold. However, it has to be turned into money. It has to be done. I know how to cook a face salad. I know how to cook a face salad. You know that people are struggling with making this meal, especially those in the diaspora. Especially some women don't know how to teach teenagers how to cook. If you create a cookbook for teenagers, do you know what that will be? A cookbook broken down into teenagers' language. A cookbook that is fun or a cook video that is fun and attractive to teenagers. Do you know what that would do? So your knowledge is gold, your knowledge is mileage, but it has to be put into products, courses, books, guides, bundle, something that suits the particular audience you want to address. It's like what Superbook did. All that Superbook did was to use Bible stories, the old ancient book of life. We've been reading it. Children have been reading it, but they identified a gap. And they said, okay, let's put this into stories that children can relate to. And boom, Superbook is everywhere, reaching to millions. So that's your capacity to break down sex education into something that 7-year-olds can have. It's creativity. You've been doing it and you're a teacher. You teach sex education in a way that the 5-year-old gets it and implements it. And no one feels like this child is being turned into an adult or being given too much adult education. It's creativity, is a gift. It should be packaged into continuity, not just cash. So right now you're earning from it on your job. You are just at the lowest form of income that creativity can give you because you are just a level of cash. So you say things like, oh, I work in this place, I do it and they pay me. We can build it into other forms of income. Oh, you need to actually sit with that live that I talked about, the 4 kinds of income that your creativity can give you. It's beautiful. It's on our playlist here. You can look at it later. And you can see that cash is just the least. From it, we can build credibility. From it, you can build continuity, a whole lot. And that is what we say when we say put your knowledge or your experience, your expertise, your expressions into books, into guides, into courses, into checklists, into frameworks, into systems of continuity. So if it's in a book and you say things like how a 5-year-old can understand sex. Of course, we know that sex education is something that is a no-brainer in this generation. But most parents are struggling. So if I'm just using that as an example to see that if that can be done, it will be easy. The Bible was somewhat complex to children. How do you explain to a 4-year-old that Samson lifted a city gate? How can you explain that without the child thinking it's some magic? Superbook broke it down. I remember a friend of mine telling me how she was amazed at how her 4-year-old understood the marriage choice of Samson. And the child could say to her that we can't marry anyhow. She was frozen. Like after the devotional she had with the children, and a 4-year-old told her this, a 4-year-old son had this conversation with her. She came and she said, sis, this shocked me a whole lot. Because I was shocked to hear my 4-year-old son say this. Why? Super Bowl. The boy had watched it on Super Bowl. So when she was talking about the life of Samson and the winds and the flowers, the child could say, Samson married late. Samson married from the wrong tribe in the child's language. And the child said, so mommy, I know that we can't just marry from any tribe. Shocking. But guess what? When CBN was producing Superbook, maybe they didn't know that there was a 4-year-old child in 2025 who would be able to understand wrong marriage choices at age 4. It was shocking for me as well, but that is the power of creativity. That is the power of packaged knowledge, knowledge that is built and put into continuity systems. If my friend was told to explain the choice of marriage like this to a 4-year, that's why she was frozen. She was like, I don't think I would have been able to explain this way. Maybe I would have waited till when he turns 7. But we all know how these issues on marriage and sex and partner choices are better managed when you get the knowledge earlier, when you get the understanding earlier. That's exactly what she saw. And for me, that's what I saw there. I'm like, 4-year-old already understands. We are safe. We are on track. So that's it. Even with your knowledge, even with your expertise, please put this for me in the comment section. My creativity can save generations. My creativity can save generations. Only say it over yourself. So you know that you shouldn't hide. There was no guarantee for CBN at the time that this boy would actually see that series. But guess what? They took the choice. If you're wondering, oh, my creativity, I'm not confident enough, I did something for you. There's a video I did here on YouTube, the creative confidence gap. Yes, like I said, the comment section, my creativity can save generations. The creative confidence gap. You also need to see that video because I talked a lot about confidence and your creativity. And of course, we should tell you this if not me, the confidence coach. Yeah. So I talked about that a whole lot. So don't think that your creativity is something that can be. It's not needed. No, that 4-year-old was saved right there. He was saved right there. Imagine the person that is saving us with cornflakes. Most parents here on this life, you know that is this kind of snacks that save you in the morning breakfast rush and all of that. You just put in your conflicts and hey, everybody's okay. Hello, Lawan. It's so good to see you. Hi. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I love it that you joined in today. Yes, my creativity can save generations. If your children are watching Superbook, someone's creativity is saving your own generation. So we are waiting for your own creativity to save this generation. Hi, Sunusu. Do me a favor. Sunisi Lawan. Okay. Do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. We love it that you joined in today. So don't chase stability where there is none. You know what there isn't security, right? A job. Yeah. I know that's coming at somewhat hard. That's coming at somewhat brash, but that's not my intention. I'm just trying to drag you into your creativity. Let me have you say that over yourself. My creativity is where my stability lies. Put that for me in the comment section and say it over yourself. Let's go. My creativity is where my stability lies. Do you know why? Do you know why it says where your stability lies? Because to be honest, in all fairness, right? The creator that made you and I made us with a long-term plan that we're never going to ever die. Thank you, like I said in the comment section. Our creator made us in such a way that we're not meant to die. We're never meant to die. We're actually meant to live forever. See, but in the reality today, you cannot live forever, like forever, right? You're going to maximum hit 120 or more as you desire, as you and your creator want. And then we're all going to go one day. But guess what? When you've been able to turn your intelligence, your expertise, experience, expressions into creativity, it cannot die. So you live forever. This is what I consider true stability. And this kind of stability, let me ask you, can we get it on a job? Let me know in the comment section. So you will not say I'm the only one that's saying this. Tell me, please. Tell me in the comment section. This kind of stability, can you get it from a job? Can you? Can you? Yes or no? Just let me know yes or no. Can you get it from a job? Because at the end of the day, thank you. Like I said in the comment section, no, no, man, no, thank you. So you cannot get it from a job, no matter how much the paycheck is saying. Paychecks expire. Paychecks expire. So let me say this again, right? Creativity isn't just talent, it's security. Please write it down for me. So every time I say write it down, right? So I mean, you understand that I'm someone who is big on long-term retention, right? If you want something to stay long-term in your brain, you involve more senses. So I do mental cognition as well, right? Cognitive performance. If you want something to go to long term, so that's why if you read and you want it to go to long term memory, right? Because now you have involved more senses, the eyes, the sense of touch when you touch the pen and touch the journal. You've involved the sense of sight. So when I now say write it down and say it, I want you to involve another sense, which is the sense of you are involving more senses. The more senses that are involved in a learning process, the longer it is impressed in your memory. That is what we say it gets into long-term memory, into longer retention, right? So say this to yourself, write it down. My creativity isn't just talent, it is security. My creativity isn't just talent, it is security. And with the 5 steps I've given you today, these 5 steps are capable of moving you from the point of seeing your creativity as a job, seeing your creativity as your actual security, not just your job. Give you about 5 steps for that. I want to quickly run over the 5 steps with you again. Although I had talked about mindset shift that is required for this, but these 5 steps include, yes, I can say in the comment section, my creativity isn't just a talent, it's a security. Yes, thank you. I love it. And the steps to building this kind of job security, number one, I said, understand why industries collapse. Understand why industries collapse. It is important that you understand it. See, one task you can do today, go and find a video, a book that addresses the failures of past industries. Before you start creating, go and understand. I think I heard a pastor, a man of God, say that part of what he did before he started his ministry was to go and study ancient churches that have stayed over 100 years. The ones that failed after these number of years and the ones that have also stayed. So part of what you want to do is to go and study systems. Study the successful ones. That's good. But study the ones that have collapsed. You know, it was a famous pastor that said, there's always something to learn from someone. And at least he, even if it's a madman, he learns from a madman how not to be mad. So when I'm saying go and study industries that have collapsed, I'm saying learn from them how not to collapse. Let's say you look at these two telecom giants, NITEL and MTN. You'll understand that, oh, NITEL collapsed. Why? They lacked collaboration. They lacked innovation. So when you look at MTN today, you see loads and loads and loads of collaboration. Recently, a popular chef made Guinness record. And I was looking at it. The title, the award that was given was her name and the company that collaborated with her. Collaboration. But there are some other industries that were there. Maybe they didn't even consider working with her. Because I remember the first time she wanted to beat that record, that same record. There are companies that she met and they just did. Interestingly, the company that is partnering with her now for this one and got their name there was strategic about that move. To understand why industries collapse, it's your task this weekend. Pick one or two. And I've recommended a book for you if you do not know where to start from. Get Femi Otedola's book, I beg your pardon. Femi Otedola's Making It Big. It will help you to understand why industries collapse. Do comparison. NITEL versus MTN. Netflix versus Blockbuster. Do your comparison. Kodak versus digital cameras. Do your comparison. And then number two, shift from your definition of security. I'm sure that we've already done that. Everybody has already established that. Okay, the actual definition of security is security equals creativity. That's what security is actually in your creativity. Okay, because at the end of the day, your job pays you today, but your creativity pays you forever, forever. Even when you are not there to eat the money again, the creativity will continuously. And then step three, I said, position your creativity as a tool, not a hobby. Please stop writing for fun. Stop cooking for fun. Somebody has used cooking to enter Guinness Book of Record how many times? And you're still saying I cook for a hobby. I just love to cook. And if you love cooking as a hobby, it's not a direct attack on you. Stop saying I just cook, it's just fun. Someone used cooking, created a whole largest pot in the world, decided to take it. That's creativity. That's creativity. Position your whatever that hobby is that you don't call your creativity a hobby. Look for another hobby, please. Or while you are doing it as a hobby, consider it as a tool for personal economy expansion. I gave you an acronym. Consider your creativity as your PEE, your personal economy expansion tool. That's what it is. Your personal economy expansion is tied to your creativity, not your job. So that's why professionals say things like, I had a budget I wanted to live by this year. I had something for my mentor. She said that at some point, she was told that you either increase your earnings or you reduce your budget. And I think I read this in a book as well. I think, yeah, it was Robert Kiyosaki who was saying that people are being advised to reduce your expenses. But what if we increase our means? What if we expand how much that we make? Because at the end of the day, you still love the good things of life, right? So you want to travel when you want to. You want to eat the good food when you want to. So that's you wanting to build a certain kind of personal economic power. Personal economic expansion is a desire for everybody. But your creativity is where it is time. And how do you do that? Stop seeing your creativity as a hobby. I just love to sing. Somebody has transferred Afrobeats and is making billions through it. I just love to sing. I just love to cook. I just love to write. I had a team member that said it's my hobby. I said, that your hobby of writing. Let us see what we do with it. Because I don't. Anyway, I'm sure that her mind had changed. She said that when she initially came. Anyway. But then the creativity is not a hobby. Don't see it like that. It is a tool. It's not a hobby. And I said, finally, step number 3, position your creativity as something you can use to build creative network. Build a creative network, not a CV. See, professionals, let's talk. You know I'm saying to you, right? So your CV is good. You've been building CV for the past 20 years of your life. For the past 10, 15 years, degrees upon degrees, certificates upon certificates, credentials, they are good. They're good. I love it as well. But you know one thing you should build? Build a creative network. So when the Bible was saying iron sharpeneth iron, this is what it's talking about. A network of creative sharpens creativity. If you're looking for a network of creatives, because I know right now it has hit you, you want to build one, come and join the Smart Creating Lab. Because the beauty is not just that you're coming into a lab, coaches will hold you and teach you what it is that you need to do, and they help you get your product in your hand. You will be able to meet other creatives. I have seen professionals struggle. They manage to write their first book, and that is where they are. Do you know why? They are not in a creative network. I can't stop what I'm doing because I'm in a creative network. My network is moving. I can't stop it. The creative people you see that you admire, they can't stop. There's a network because iron sharpeneth iron. So as much as you are building CV, find yourself in a system where you are building a creative network. It is more powerful than a CV that is built. When you look at the images from Femi Otedolá's daughter's wedding, you see some kind of people on the images. That's not what I'm calling it. But if you read his book, Making the Big, you see how strategically, of course, that's such a creative person, how strategically he built a creative network. One thing I do when I read is actually to pick out lessons of life, not necessarily to read for the name of I've read this number of books. No, to pick out the lessons of life. Build a creative network. The CV is good, you've been building it. Spend the next years of your life concentrating on building a creative network. So when people say things like, I've had someone say this, I don't know why creative block happens. I don't know what is creative block. People say it. They get to a point where you hit the rock, you have to stop, pause. I've had someone who was working with me at some point. I said there was a point I hit. I said you cannot hit creative block. It happens to, I don't know what it is. Why? A network of creatives. Build it. No 4 man is equals to 4 men. Oh, put that for me in the comment section. Say that to yourself. Is one man try run with no 4 man? You know what a 4 man is? The man who is in front, who is strong enough. Engineers can relate, okay? 4 man. You can never be equal to 4 men. So as much as you're creative, concentrate. Building a creative. I know it will take you more than building a CV. So I see the reason why professionals, I used to be that professional. I just wanted to build my CV. So the next certification, boom, I'm there. The next papers, boom, I'm there. Let's have the CVs. But without a creative network, it will be hard to build actual job security with your creativity. All right. So thank you so much. Yes, I can see it in the comment section. It's been a good time being here today. Thank you for joining on today's live. This is where we'll call it a day. If you put in the comment section, create, you get access to the Smart Creating Lab, and we need to see you there. All right. Your creativity outlives industries. And this is what we're talking about today. I hope that you've picked a lesson or two from today's live session. Tomorrow will be 7 p.m. It's Saturday. So you'll be here at 7 p.m. West African time. You want to join in as well. Spread this word. Tell a professional. Tomorrow, interestingly, we'll be taking live Q&A. So, tomorrow, you just ask your questions. I'll be taking questions. We'll be seeing live stories of more people that have created a whole lot, and then you can ask your questions tomorrow. So tell someone to tell someone that tomorrow it is 7 p.m. West African time that we will be here. We go live Mondays to Fridays at 1 p.m., Saturdays at 7 p.m. for the Smart Short Break series. The Smart Short Break series is here, and it is here for professionals like you. No time for mindless scrolling on social media. No, that's why we created the Smart Short Break series. So each time you feel like going to your phone or going tech binging, come in here, and this is where you can unlock confidence smartness through smart reading, smart thinking, and of course, smart speaking. So the Smart Short Break series, we've had several series on it. We have the speed reading short break series under it. We have the several topics have been discussed, but throughout September and October is the Smart Creating Short Break series. You do not want to miss any of it. All right, they're all on the playlist, so you can always go and catch replay. Right? Thank you so much for joining in. Share this live with someone that should have seen it. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. This is the Smart World.